What's up YouTube, ODST General back again, and today guys we have the version 0.22 release for Operation Trebuchet. Now, there isn't a complete set of patch notes for this release, unfortunately, so there may be some things I missed during the course of this video. If I do, I apologize, guys. Unfortunately, not much I can do about that because of the lack of a changelog. There's nothing for me to base this off of, so I'll try to hit everything I know about. Starting us off, we do have fixed up Bison. So the crews on the Bison were sticking out and standing up in the front. That's been fixed. The Bison's also received an updated texture and everything like that. I've actually got a crew inside of the Bison, as you guys can see, if we look in the back here. So they are sitting in there normally, not sticking out the front of it or anything like that. So that's pretty nice. Nice little change there. In addition to the Bison receiving changes, the Hornet also receives some model improvements and texture updates. And there is a variety of different skins and stuff available for this that I've seen tweaks. Probably the biggest one from this, or at least the most, well, yeah, I think this is literally the biggest, and probably one of the more exciting ones is the addition of the Scythe. So the Scythe is, of course, Bacon Shelf's model. We've been talking about this bad boy for a while. It's finally in. It's not really complete yet. If it gets hit, it can go flying. It's pretty hilarious to watch, but when it is actually shooting targets, this thing can do some pretty devastating damage, especially if there's a couple of them laid down. These things will tear through Banshees and other aerial units once they get on target. So pretty devastating thing here, and you guys will probably get to see some footage of that during the course of this video here at some point. Then we have another of other props and stuff that were added. So we've got some bits from the frigate, or not the frigate, the Drake-class Corvette, I should say, that were created by the dog kind of before a little bit of a hiatus for him. This includes a number... Oh, well, I didn't mean to show that off quite yet. That was supposed to be... that was supposed to be in a minute here. I'll go over why I just did there. I meant to scroll wheel this option here, but we have all these hollow tables. We've got these computer pieces. Now, what I accidentally just activated there on the Spartan suit, we've talked about previously as well, but if you guys haven't seen those videos, and I know these update videos tend to get a few more views, is certain Spartan armors by default have this, and any Spartan armor or uniform can have the shield added, but Akavari's shields have been added. So basically, I've just activated shields on my Spartan here. If I go into first person, I've also activated this HUD. The HUD doesn't track quite like the ODST HUD. It doesn't have all the weapon updates and details and stuff in there, but it's just a first person overlay that comes alongside the activation of the Law Honor suits. Yeah, pretty slick looking, and it's really awesome when you actually get into firefights. Having these shields and everything is pretty sweet, and you know, they're tough to get through, but they're not impossible, which is nice. We also have a number of other props. We've got some benches, as you guys can see. We've got some landing pads, as you guys can see in the back. There's two different landing pads. They seem to be designed to go as pieces of force, so you basically take these and you put these two down, line them up properly, which they're not currently, and then you flip them around and you have two more on the other side, and you have a giant landing pad. It's a pretty slick looking landing pad. Might be a little bit tricky to place down, I think, properly to get it looking good. I'm not sure. I haven't really tried to line it up. I feel like, I mean, you guys can see if it's floating and stuff, if it's sitting a little too high, it might look kind of weird because there isn't a bottom or base to it, or staircases off. So I don't know, placing that might be a little bit difficult, but it is a fantastic looking piece, and I can't wait to see what people do with this and where they put it on some of these compositions and stuff. Now, if I can get back over here to the other side, if I can get out of this bench, that was an accident. We have a Luminate board, which is kind of a cool prop. I like this thing here. We've got some additional cases. We've got navigation beacons, which don't do anything. You know, there's no interaction with them, just nice looking props here. So if you want to basically try to protect, say, a navigational beacon on a ship from the Covenant or something like that, or maybe, you know, an instruction sporting party, you have these props to work with here. We have these weapons cases. So there's a bunch of different varieties of this thing, but basically all these weapons in here come in, depending on the rack and stuff, you'll have different weapons that are placed in here. When you pull a weapon off, it actually takes the model off of the rack, which is the really cool part about this. So that if I go ahead and I put this back in here, it should, I believe, reappear in there. Oh, I guess not, but it does take off the model, which is cool. So if I were to pull out, say, an M6G or one of these rockets or something, it would pull that off. We'll pull out one of the M90s, and as you can see, it pulls off the M90 too. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I meant to take the M90 I had and put it away. Anyways, we've also got a number of other changes to the weapons, which you guys may have noticed when I picked up those weapons, but every weapon has custom reticules now. So basically you've got cursors or, you know, reticules based off of the actual Halo games, which is pretty slick looking. These are all really nice additions and details. And if I pick up the shotgun, I'm not going to pick up every single weapon, but we'll try to pick up a variety so you guys can see the different ones. There's no bloom or anything, which, I don't know, I have no issue with. That's just so you guys are aware. Then we've got the rocket launcher, which looks really sick. Alright, let's pull this bad boy out. Yeah, there you go. Look at that. I don't think I have ace on, but I don't want to risk it. And switch back over. Pull out the Magnum here. And we've got the other SMG here, which if I go into first person, and of course the sniper rifle. Alright, so yeah, got the sniper rifle looking slick, just like all the other weapons. And then coming over to the last little bit here, we've got these guys here, which the Insurrectionist received some new textures and stuff for their armor. Now, it did seem like this guy still has kind of a wonky model as far as the Insurrectionist. As soon as you get a little bit far away, the LOD starts screwing up from like over here. So there's like within visual distance that you kind of can see it's screwed up even from here. It's not too bad though. It seems like it's definitely been improved, and maybe it's just because of the new textures or something. It's less noticeable. It used to be really bad, so I'm not sure. Because yeah, I mean, if you zoom in, it's not really noticeable at all. And then a couple of new dress uniforms were also added. So what I'm going to do before we go over there and look at the First Contact stuff from the First Contact development update, we're going to go ahead and go in here, and we are going to go to Sorpa mod, and a couple of weapons were added, so I'm going to just try to hunt those down. So we had the addition of the BR-45. This is based off of Halo and ODST's story, which was a fan game. I believe it was canceled. I'm not sure if it's still a work in progress or not at this point, if I'm being honest with you guys. I actually really like this battle rifle design. You know, the curved look and stuff, very unique. It's got some similarities, as somebody pointed out, to, I believe it was the MA2B, but at the same time being very much its own weapon as well. And yeah, I just definitely dig this thing a lot. In addition to that, the M12 was added. The M12, however, is still broken, just like the development version. This is in a constantly firing state. And yeah, not really great looking, so probably not a lot of people wanting to use this, but it does technically function and everything. Actually, shoot, you know, I think I saw bug reports that the magazines on this were broken. Now, it was functional at one point, but yeah, the magazines are broken, so probably not something that anybody's going to be using for the time being. But you know, as you guys can see, scopes and all that are set up properly for it, so technically it's about ready to go, as long as they fix the issue with the firing and, you know, more importantly with the magazines. And then I think as far as the weapons and stuff go, that was the only additions. So let's go ahead and check out. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know it had its own unique firing reticle. Dig that. Let's go ahead and check out the First Contact stuff. So First Contact had a small update for its development branch. So this isn't live as of right now. Of course, we had the Mark 6 and stuff, which has just been in for a little bit, but basically set up and looking pretty good there. A little bit more interestingly is we've got a couple of new door props. So we've got Forerunner Council 1 and Forerunner Council 2 that were added in. So these weren't in previously. And there's also the addition of the maps that I hadn't talked about in a previous update. So that was a minor update that I never covered. The installation of 4 maps, Wetlands, Archipelago, and Highlands, have all been added to the development build, so those are all kind of integrated in. Hopefully we'll have a live build for that sooner rather than later to get all this Forerunner stuff in and going officially, but I'm not sure what's going to happen with that or when we might expect that. In addition, there was a couple of other minor changes that were made. Revamped Madrigal, which we're currently on, for much better performance. Obviously, lighting and stuff has been changed here, as well as some other things. Colo's performance has also been improved. Added a new terrain based on the moon of Phobos. And unfortunately, they did pull out the Iridina Secondus, so if you guys were on the development build, you guys would remember that that was in there. That was a map by Bushlurker that was never completed before he passed away. You know, and it's kind of a shame because it's a very basic map, but it was a pretty neat looking map. It was a you know, like an asteroid or whatever with like this deep ravine running through it, and a small UNSC base on there that was added by a different Optray developer to flesh it out a little bit further, but the lighting and everything was a little too dark and needs to be tweaked. And yeah, I don't know if we're ever going to see that or not in the official release of the mod. Hopefully we'll get to see that at some point down the road, though. I'd definitely love to see some of Bushlurker's work actually added in, and like some of the work he did for Optray before he passed would be fantastic. Yeah, other than that, guys, that is everything for the update. So this is version 0.22 for the main Optray release, as well as a update for Operation Trebuchet First Contact development build, like I said. So let me know what you guys think of these changes. And of course, if you guys do have bugs and stuff like that, head on over to the Optray Discord and report bugs over that way. There's a number of other bugs and stuff that I haven't covered in this video that have already been discovered and talked about over that way. So if you guys are having some bugs and running into issues, you know, go check over there. Maybe your bug's already been reported and everything, but maybe you'll be able to find some help for it too. All right, guys, take it easy. I will see you in the next one.